Почему-то не отображается. Сейчас попробую закрыть и открыть оно. Так. Я хочу PDF-ку сейчас открыть просто. Sapiens, a brief history of humankind. Так. О. Повезло. Может быть, мое лицо тут не так уж и нужно? Ну, короче, что-то типа такого будет сегодня. Мы с вами вчера почитали еще типа интро и вот посмотрели вот все вот эти ваши, как это называется, контент. So, part 1, the cognitive revolution. A human handprint made about 30,000 years ago on the wall of the Chauvet Pont cave in southern France. Somebody tried to say, I was here. Прикольно. Насколько же древний вот этот знак. Все челики, ну, типа, дети обводят ладошку тоже. Прикольно. First part 1, probably. Или это chapter 1. Нет, это уже chapter 1 получается. An animal of no significance. About 13.5 billion years ago, matter, energy, time, and space came into being in what is known as the Big Bang. The story of these fundamental features of our universe is called physics. About 300,000 years after their appearance, matter and energy started to coalesce into complex structures called atoms, which then combined into molecules. The story of atoms, molecules, and their interactions is called chemistry. About 3.5 billion years ago, on a planet called Earth, certain molecules combined to form particularly large and intricate structures called organisms. The story of organisms is called biology. About 7,000 years ago, organisms belonging to the species Homo sapiens started to form even more elaborate structures and called cultures. The subsequent development of these human cultures is called history. Three important revolutions shaped the course of history. The cognitive revolution kick-started history about 70,000 years ago. The agricultural revolution sped it up about 12,000 years ago. The scientific revolution, which got underway only 500 years ago, may well end history and start something completely different. This book tells the story of how these three revolutions have affected humans and their fellow organisms. There were humans long before there was history. Animals, much like modern humans, first appeared about 2.5 billion years ago. But for countless generations, they did not stand out from the myriad other organisms with which they shared their habitats. On the hike in East Africa 2 million years ago, you might well have encountered a familiar cast of human characters. Anxious mothers cuddling their babies in clutches of carefree children playing in the mud, uh, temperamental youth chafing against the dictates of society, and weary elders who just wanted to be left in peace, just thumping macos, trying to matches, trying to impress the local beauty and wise old matriarchs who had already seen it all. These archaic humans loved, played, formed close relationships, and competed for status and power. But so did chimpanzees, baboons, and elephants. There was nothing special about them. Nobody, least of all humans themselves, had any inkling that their descendants would one day walk on the moon, split the atom, fathom the genetic code, and write history books. The most important thing to know about prehistoric humans is that they were insignificant animals with no more impact on their environment than gorillas, fireflies, or jellyfish. Biologists classify organisms into species. Animals are said to belong to the same species if they tend to mate with each other, giving birth to fertile offspring. Horses and donkeys have a recent common ancestor and share many physical traits, but they show little sexual interest in one another. They will mate if induced to do so, but their offspring, called mules, are sterile. Mutations in donkey DNA can therefore never cross over to horses or vice versa. The two types of animals are consequently considered two distinct species, moving along separate evolutionary paths. By contrast, a bulldog and a spaniel may look very different, but they are members of the same species, sharing the same DNA pool. They will happily mate, and their puppies will grow up to pair off with other dogs and produce more puppies. Species that evolved from a common ancestor are bunched together under the heading genus. Plural. Sorry. Plural genera. I don't know what does it mean. Plural genera. Lions, tigers. I need to drink bottled water. I'm sorry. I'm back. So, lions think Tigers, leopards, and jaguars are different species within the genus Panthera. Biologists label organisms with a two-part related. Oh, hell. I'm dying. I'm almost dead. Sorry. Oh, shit. I'm back. Ох, у меня горло чуть болело. И из-за того, что я решила что-то почитать, возможно, у меня стал кашель из-за такой сильной нагрузки на горло. Слезы даже проступили. Ладно, давайте попробуем продолжить в медленном темпе. Biologists label organisms with a two-part leading name, genus followed by species. Lions, for example, are called Panthera leo, the species Leo of the genus Panthera. Presumably, everyone reading this book is a Homo sapiens, the species Sapiens, wise of the genus Homo, man. Okay. Genera, in their turn, are grouped into families such as the cats, lions, cheetahs, house cats, the dogs, wolves, foxes, jacks, and the elephants, mammoths, mastodons. All members of a family trace their mm, all members of a family trace their lineage back to a founding matriarch or patriarch. All cats, for example, from the smallest house kitten to the most ferocious lion, share a common feline ancestor who lived about 25 million years ago. Homo sapiens, too, belongs to a family. This banal fact used to be one of history's most closely guarded secrets. Homo sapiens long preferred to view itself as set apart from animals, an orphan bereft of family, lacking siblings or cousins, and most importantly, without parents. But that's just not the case. Like it or not, we are members of a large and particularly noisy family called the Great Apes. Our closest living relatives include chimpanzees, gorillas, and orangutans. The chimpanzees are the closest. Just 6 million years ago, a single female ape had two daughters. One became the ancestor of all chimpanzees, the other is our own grandmother. So, goodbye, everyone. Probably the next part is for tomorrow. Have a nice day.